Who murdered Jimmie Lee Jackson? We know a state trooper, acting under the orders of George Wallace, pointed the gun and pulled the trigger. But how many other fingers were on that trigger? Who murdered Jimmie Lee Jackson? Every white lawman who abuses the law to terrorize. Every white politician who feeds on prejudice and hatred. Every white preacher who preaches the Bible and stays silent before his white congregation. Who murdered Jimmie Lee Jackson? Every Negro man and woman who stands by without joining this fight as their brothers and sisters are humiliated, brutalized, and ripped from this earth. When I heard President Kennedy had been shot and killed, and when I heard just yesterday that Malcolm X, who stood in this very church just 3 weeks ago, had been shot and killed, I turned to my wife, Coretta, and said the same thing I often say when one of our leaders is struck down. Our lives are not fully lived if we're not willing to die for those we love and for what we believe. But today, Jimmy, we're doing the living and you've done the dying, dear brother. We will not let your sacrifice pass in vain, dear brother. We will not let it go. We will finish what you were after. We will get what you were denying. We will vote. We will put these men out of office. We will take their power. We will win what you were slaughtered for. We're going back to Washington. We're going to demand to see the president, and I'm going to tell him that Jimmy was murdered by an administration that spends millions of dollars every day to sacrifice life in the name of liberty in Vietnam, yet lacks the moral will and the moral courage to defend the lives of its own people here in America. We will not let it go. And if he does not act, we will act. We will act. We will do it for all of our lost ones. All of those like Jimmie Lee Jackson who have gone too soon, taken by hate.